And so every week we tell you about volunteer opportunities right here in Northeast Ohio. Today's is a little different. Our friends at Greater Cleveland Volunteers told us about a volunteer opportunity at Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry Men's Shelter that involves writing poetry.
So invited workshop instructor Annie Holden and Maurice Anderson to the broadcast today to tell us more. And Maurice is going to read a poem a little bit later in today's show. Good to have you both with us. Good to have you both
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So tell us about the Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry Men's Shelter, first off.
It's part of Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry, which has been an agency. It's a nonprofit social service agency and advocacy agency in Cleveland for the last 50 years. So the men's shelter is a part of what we do, and we've been there since 2005.
And so you provide so many services, and the poetry, though, is something you started 10 years ago.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah. It just evolved out of a random visit from a local poet who led a workshop, and it was so well received and it was so amazing an experience that a few of us from the community decided we had to continue this, and so we did. And it's been 10 years.
Let's bring the poet himself right into the conversation.
Cool.
Maurice, good to have you with us. How did you get involved in poetry, this poetry program, and how do you feel when you write poetry?
Well, poetry, first off, gives me a chance to get outside of myself. And I mix and mingle with my peers, and it teaches me, I'm a singer and songwriter too also. And it teaches me different ways to mingle with people,
And
with my peers.
And to express yourself,
Exactly.
I guess.
Exactly.
And so from what I understand, sometimes you can write poetry in as little as 2 hours, or it might take a couple of days. Have you gotten a little bit faster with how you write?
Yes, I have.
Explain that. I mean, what has it done for your writing skills and expressive skills?
Well, I love to write and I love to read. At the last session we had, I was just doodling down some things, and I had help putting it together. So it didn't take as long as it usually takes. But it was like about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I like a man and a woman who writes poetry. I like people. I'm a poet myself. I dabble in it myself. We'll have to talk after the broadcast a little bit about poetry. Annie, what impact has this had on the men who are taking this poetry class?
I think really it just provides a quiet, safe, respectful space for people to come and exchange ideas and express themselves. At first we were a little leery. We thought, oh, poetry, you know, maybe that's not going to be very popular. But it's persisted, obviously. We've done creative writing and a few other activities, but the poetry is what's stuck. And it really, the men have said repeatedly that they really appreciate being listened to and just, you know, provided this nice, quiet, contemplative space. We have pretty lively discussions too, actually, but yeah.
And so, Maurice, even beyond the poetry, how has the ministry helped you? I understand you're working on housing and you have a situation, and tell us a little bit about that.
Well, first off, I like to say that, you know, I'm grateful for Lutheran Metropolitan, and I'm in a program now where it's for 50 and over, and they supply permanent supportive housing, and that's the program I'm in, right along with other programs that I do. And I graduated a couple programs, but it empowers me. It empowers me. That's why I stuck and stayed.
All right.
Well, it's a wonderful thing going on. It is a wonderful thing, and I
definitely
like
is.
that. I like the idea of poetry and all of that.
I know you do. I've heard you, Leon. I've heard it. And we'll have to make sure our viewers get to hear it at some point as well on this program. But for more information on Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry Men's Shelter, you can call 216-696-2715, or to volunteer at the shelter, call 216-649-7723.
But wait, there is much more to tell you all about, because Maurice is here to read a piece of poetry, especially for you.
Hi, my name is Maurice Anderson, and this poem I've written, and it's called This Poem Belongs to You. This poem belongs to you, though someone else helped me pick it out. We have so little of each other, to smile at people and for them to smile back. If they don't, no hate, just disappointment. A poem could wake you from your sleep, reinvigorate you. What is it really? To see what it really is, you must understand that it's your life, it's your history, and it belongs only to you.
Nicely done. Maurice Anderson reading his own piece of poetry.
Definitely.
Very nice.